Hi, this is Jeremy Murphy, and I am joining you. We're going to talk about stress management and rebooting your life today. And if you have a stress ball, you might want to grab it. I should explain, as the descendant of Irish potato farmers, that this was formerly in the spherical round shape, and I have my daughter rearrange it into more of a potato shape. So I've sworn that at some proper time I will rearrange it into a different shape, but the potato shape is so appealing, I can't let go of it. So I should be squeezing it when I get stressed out, but I haven't been doing that. So
Well, I guess at the moment, Jeremy, you're in enough of a levity mode here that you don't need to do that. Maybe secretly under the table, your right foot is twitching up and down to let go of a little bit of excess energy as
right.
you host your first lab. But I'm happy as a Google Plus friend of yours to be over in this new playground with you, having some fun and, being curious, like who's going to show up? Who's going to see this topic, stress management and rebooting your life, and see who's here, what's being said, and I hope anybody who does pop in can glean something that they'll actually use. My impression is that a whole lot of people come into these blabs and they're not clear on what they're doing there.
Right.
They're just kind of lurking.
True.
But if you go in with an intention to glean some new awareness, that could be good. So I just want to say hi to Ragnar Lothbrook and Mario Roca, 56. And Mario says, I'm waiting for your consent. So I guess he's being kind of etiquette polite here, like saying, oh, could I come into the open seat? So Jeremy, it's your show.
Okay. Let's see. How do I just click on open seat?
Mario, I guess he wants to get some practice agreeing that he'll let somebody in. So
I'm trying to open
on
the seat.
Open seat.
It won't.
Let's see if there's a join button. I don't see a join button. Mario, is there a join button?
I'd be happy to let you in, but I'm clicking on open seat and it's not doing anything.
You know what? Lab is a little wonky today.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you in. I'll keep working on this. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out. But I'm clicking on open seat and it will not open it. And I don't know how else to. I don't see any other way to add it.
You know what? So I want to say hi to Pedro Rossini. Hi. This is Jeremy's first lab. I'm his sidekick, Elaine, and we're feeling our way through the territory of hosting. I've done a little bit more of this than Jeremy, and what I would have expected to be seeing in the 4 quadrants is one box that says open seat, but then it says join. And it doesn't have any join on it. And for the life of me, I don't understand why.
And I don't either.
So for that reason, it looks like, we have lost our visitors.
Well,
start squeezing.
We do have subscribers, though, so perhaps Mia Voss will laugh about this later since she's one of the subscribers. So.
Okay. Just for fun, I'm going to see if +1, who else is coming in? 3 people.
Well, looks like, what happened? Open. Now I lost Elaine. I don't know why. The joy of technology. Well, while we wait, try to finesse the issue, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me a year ago. Looks like Elaine's trying to come back. Hopefully she can make it back in. I can't figure out how to open. Okay. Allowing Elaine in.
Okay.
You're back.
Now, oh,
Still does the same thing.
you know what? See, now on my screen, it says there's an open seat. Well, guess what? Of course, there's not going to be any join button on my screen to join because, duh, I'm already joined.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Right.
So let's see if somebody else shows up. Oh, we're learning. We're learning. Yeah. So let's send out the good mojo out into the world. There are out there in Blabland people who could benefit from being party to this conversation and coming in on screen and either asking a question of the holistic nurse or the attorney whose life is a little different than it was a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's more life coach like now.
It's more life coach like. So while we're waiting for some people to come on over here, there may be other viewers, that aren't signed in so that they can subscribe. I think there actually is another way to watch what's going on in a blab.
Right.
Without participating. So, there are some, it says 10 total viewers. So between subscribers and others who may be kind of semi-lurking.
Right. And Elaine disappeared again. Well, and I think she's coming back. I don't know what's going on here. We're having some technological challenges.
No. It's all me.
It's you.
It's all me. I'm going to look at these other things, and I think I'm going to come right back in, but I'm,
okay.
I'm hitting the back button or something, and I think I'm going to come right back and be able to see the screen, and then I send myself down into a blab hole. Like a black hole or a rabbit hole.
Right.
A blab hole.
I just heard that word for the first time yesterday. So.
Well, there was a guy who's one of the main show hosts. Well, one of them is attempting to create like a blab lexicon.
Okay.
And
a blabicon, if you will.
Well, they were calling it a blab lexicon or something.
Okay.
And inviting, terms that relate to doing blab, watching blab, experiencing blab, aspects of blab. And in one of the replay shows that I was watching where they were talking about that, I think I was at the point where they were beginning to talk about blab hole, similar to rabbit hole. And apparently there were mixed there was mixed responses about that.
Yeah.
So maybe they hadn't made a decision yet. But anyway, so Jeremy, has some of your time on Blab been kind of fun and playful? One where you felt like, I'm sure not stressed while I'm just kind of watching these shows.
I think it has been. It's been surprisingly educational to me. I appreciate the fun and the lightheartedness too, because I mean, I think a lot of times we take life too seriously, and we have to find outlets to channel that in. Yeah, it's been eye-opening. It's been overwhelming to see how many topics are being discussed. I can't even, there are new topics popping up every 5 seconds, and people are having. It's interesting to see threads of well, someone was doing a stress management blab at 1 o'clock, and I started watching that one, and I thought, oh, that's strange. We're doing the same topic at 2. But I think, a lot of us, I don't know, a lot of us, when we're confronted with stressful situations, we don't handle them very well. And I wanted to get to a story of what happened to me last year, because I think, there may be people in the audience that experienced this or may experience it in the future or know someone that does. And I guess I'd like to help those people be able to better handle it. But a year ago, I lost my job, and I see the sidekick has hijacked the.
But I have to spell it correctly.
Okay. Well,
this is goofy enough that it might catch some people's attention and say,
that's true.
What are they talking about here?
Yeah,
so we're playing, Jeremy.
I get it.
Just like, creative Katrina,
right,
would be telling us to do. Get curious.
I will not get stressed out that you changed the title. It's still within the original title. So, but
go ahead.
When I lost my job last year, I was devastated. It was chaotic. Didn't handle it well. Didn't know what to do. Hit a brick wall. Fell into quicksand. Couldn't seem to find my way out of it. Didn't have outlets. Wasn't sleeping well. Wasn't eating well. Just was completely chaotic and disruptive. And it took a lot of soul searching and digging through different outlets, things like running, reading. Well, I showed you the stress ball earlier, which is now in the shape of a potato. It will change someday, I promise.
It looks like a zucchini growing here.
Well, we do have a giant zucchini on the kitchen table, but I'd have to move locations to show you that. Maybe we'll get to that at the end of the show. But it's been an amazing, difficult experience in the past year to work through that, figure out what my new paths are, and I guess I've really discovered a passion for coaching, and not just coaching runners. I mean, I'm a marathoner and officially a running coach now, but as an attorney for the past 22 years, I've dealt with a lot of clients and chaotic situations and stressful situations. And, you carry all this baggage, not only for yourself, but also for your clients. And I found last year I was just carrying so much baggage from, you try to throw a pity party for yourself or get attention, those type of ways. And that doesn't work. That just makes you look like an idiot. And I finally realized that I had a critical problem. The critical problem was up here. And it was
stinking thinking.
Exactly. I am a huge fan of Zig Ziglar. And so I did this checkup from the neck up. And I found
a checkup from that.
Oh man!
You would have thought I would have heard of that one
sarcasm, before. Not depression, but pessimism. It just was completely covered in it, to the point that I couldn't see clearly. Every conversation I had to have the last word or make a stupid, sarcastic remark, and finally I realized I can't live like this anymore. It's consuming too much energy to be sarcastic and to be pessimistic. And, I started wondering, why am I always wanting to punch people verbally? Why am I reacting like this and not being able to pause, take some time, find some inner peace inside, and be able to spread that with other people? And so, after several months, eventually, at least a core of optimism and stoicism kind of developed. And then I just came to a powerful realization that the things like love and peace and positivity were really the keys. And that by straying from the philosophy of Zig Ziglar and Norman Vincent Peale and people like that were so fundamental to me in my childhood that it got me into trouble. And that sarcasm is not just a funny thing to do. It's a deep chasm. Sarcasm is a very deep chasm. And if you find yourself doing that, I'm just telling you, you're going to end up being pessimistic. You're going to have, you're going to have arguments with people you shouldn't be having. You're going to have conflict. And I was tired of having all this conflict. So I just decided to let it go, put positivity in the core, throw negativity aside. And as lawyers, we're trained to always do things the negative way, to play the devil's advocate, to shoot down every idea that sounds stupid. And we do it to our friends, we do it to our families, we do it to our spouses, and it's extremely destructive. And, it's part of what makes you a fantastic courtroom lawyer, but it doesn't make you a fantastic person. There's such a thing as emotional intelligence that isn't taught in law school. And you learn this afterwards, that, you're taught all these things that can be destructive if you don't rein them in. And the
legal system is primarily set up as the adversarial system. And at some point you say, is this what I'm valuing? Winning?
Right.
War?
Right.
Now, I suppose there are other more positive ways to frame it, and that there are attorneys who can be in the arena of, I will say, presenting the truth, which is different than like defending the truth.
Right.
Or attempting to defend the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know. I am wondering, in your journey during the last year, because I know you're a person also of deep faith, whether you found your way back to gratitude practices. Because right now, while I'm thinking of it, look, if we stay unattached to outcomes, and you and I are present in this conversation, knowing that for the people who are meant to see this conversation, they'll see it, they'll find their way back because the replay will be here.
Right.
And at this moment, I'm noticing, okay, so we don't have a lot of viewers at the moment. As it turns out, at this very hour, when you have scheduled this, there are some hangouts going on with key marketing people, and one of them has like the VP of Blab on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? For those who know of him, when he's on, they're all flocking there.
Yeah.
They're all flocking there. And there even is this thing that has happened a few times on Blabs called a Blab Mob, where a group of people who notice there's only a couple of viewers in another Blab, they'll say, okay, we're going to go leave. We're going to drop in on this one and make them feel good.
Yeah.
Or see what they're really doing.
Mm-hmm.
And go over and tweet it on out. And now, isn't that an interesting gift? So I predict that the people meant to glean some benefit from this, to either think, when I notice that I am being emotionally unintelligent, I'm being reactive, I'm noticing I'm stressed, I choose to do maybe I'll have 5 things that I employ when I notice I'm stressed. And I'll pick the one that kind of fits good for that situation.
Sure.
And it might be, reframing a thought, deciding to take a gratitude moment,
Mm-hmm.
taking a deep breath in, and like I teach, like smile.
Right. Laugh. I knew you were going to laugh at some point.
And laugh and just say, you know what? you can actually come to bring yourself to laughter about everything. Because the truth is, as a human, you don't see the whole picture.
True.
You can't possibly see the whole picture, you know. But usually when we're in these moments of sadness, oh, didn't go like I wanted. People aren't paying attention to me. Inner critic. I'm not very good.
Yeah, that inner critic it's very powerful in attorneys too. I mean, it's part of what makes us effective in and outside of the courtroom. But I did. Gratitude was part of the process of kind of getting restored to health. I had, you start taking all these things in your life for granted. But when you start looking at the smallest little things, one of the things last fall that helped me get through this was the leaves falling off the trees, changing the beauty of those leaves. If you start looking at them individually or in small groups, it just, wow, it was very powerful. And, we forget to look at the little things in life. We get so caught up in, the big things that go wrong, but we have to appreciate the little things. And if we fail to do that, then we miss them.
Yeah, even the little things like your digestive system is working properly.
Right.
And like you're sitting on the can.
Mm-hmm.
And things are moving when they need to move.
Right. Well, I mean,
if that system is working all the time, you could not be thinking about it, appreciating that your body is functioning in that nice state of balance.
True.
Not that I in any way thought I'd be talking about sitting on the can.
Well, we should get back to the present though, Elaine. Because I want to make sure I get to this because
okay,
what happens?
It's your show. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right. It's still pretty close to what we're talking about. When chaotic bad things happen, we get caught up in the past, and we start living in the past to the extent that we're not living in the future at all. We're just, our family members are talking to us and we're not even paying attention. And we're just thinking about how, woe is me, how horrible things are because of what happened yesterday. Or we worry about, what's going to happen tomorrow. And then, all we really have is right now. And I think we have to be mindfully present. And so I've been trying to do that better. And I'm a chronic multitasker. If you're an attorney and you're successful, I mean, you're doing all these things at once. You're writing something while you're talking to a client on the phone, 2 different cases, probably not very effective to do that. But I've learned that, you can't, if you can't focus on what's really important, you're not going to be effective in completing that important task, or you'll never finish it because you're doing 100 other things. So, bringing that mindful presence to what you're doing right now has a very powerful effect on, being intentional instead of just being reactive and, everything triggers a knee-jerk reaction and, you're not even thinking about what you're doing. You're just reacting out of anger or frustration or, and you lose touch with all these positive things like peace and love and joy and gratitude, appreciation, friendship, long list of things. Yes.
No, the other way. Do it the other way, and okay. And of course, when this comes out on replay, these boxes may be in entirely different positions.
Something like, who knows which box we might be in. We'll be in a box somewhere. We just don't know which one.
Yeah. I want to let you know it's 28 after the hour. I actually need to be leaving in about 2 minutes.
All right.
So you might decide whether you're going to continue on or whether you're going to end this first episode. It's been fun. It's been real. I've enjoyed it.
Yep. I've enjoyed it too.
Do you have a closing thought, Jeremy Murphy?
I do. I would like to say that we need to remember that we all have stress in our lives. We have to recognize the signs and symptoms of it, but realize that we have use stress also, that there are good aspects to it if we can keep stress in check and find healthy ways to deal with it with exercise, rest, nutrition, finding peaceful hobbies that will create that inner peace that we can use inside ourselves to be able to spread to others and to radiate to the world.
I want to tell you one more tip before you finish going off broadcast.
Okay.
As the host, you should always make sure that the topic that's listed is the one you want to keep, or whether, before you end, you want to change the topic title to what's going to be its keeper title.
Okay.
Okay, so
I could change it back to what I had it as, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And if you to the left of your screen, if you go up and down through the slide bar,
okay,
you can see it was initially stress management and rebooting your life.
Right.
So, but on that little slider bar are any of the other tweets the way they went out. So during this program, I did send out 2 different tweets.
Sure.
One each with the titles that I changed because I was playing with you and hijacking and see if it might draw a couple of people in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so why don't you make that change now?
Okay, I will do that.
Jeremy, you look so serious. Smile.
I
smile as you change the title.
The title's changed, so I
good.
smile now that I have changed the title back to what I was hoping that it would be eventually at the very end and at the beginning, but not in the middle. So, but as Real Simple magazine tells us, get dressed with less stress. And getting dressed may not stress you out, but the smallest things can. I mean, you have to know what to wear and what not to wear, but more importantly, you need to find healthy ways to deal with your stress. And I wish all of you success in dealing with stress and keeping it in check. And I'd be happy to help in any way for anyone that wants to talk about it or is interested in it. So,
his Twitter handle is Jeremy Murphy.
Jeremy P. Murphy. Yeah.
Thank you.
As
Jeremy P. Murphy. And so, educating all watchers, if you find favorite people that you want to follow here on Blab, if you type in blab.im/ and then their Twitter handle. So for Jeremy Murphy, it would be Jeremy P. Murphy.
Right.
Blab.im/ Jeremy P. Murphy. For me, it would be blab.im/ Laughing Elaine. And there you can see replays of Blabs that we have hosted and recorded, as well as upcoming scheduled Blabs. Good to know.
Cool.
All right, I'm done.
Okay. Thanks, Elaine. You can also, if you're interested in my positivity work, you can visit my new positivity website. It's positivitypatrol.com. And I know when I first brought this up, some people thought I was joking, and no, it's not a joke. I'm writing a book called The Positivity Patrol, so I will provide more details on that as that writing proceeds.
There you go. And once again, I like that spinning beanie on the top of your head.
That's a tribute to my father that used to always make jokes about helicopter hats. I just, location.
Okay, Jeremy, so it's your choice when to go off the record.
Okay, I think I'm going to do that right now. So I just press stop. Okay.
Jeremy is recording again because we had some folks show up.
The
We're
show
back.
isn't over. The show isn't over until the party's over. Okay, that's what we learn through life. So, hi Roxanne, thanks for joining
Hello.
us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, or tell the audience who you are, that type of thing?
Sure. I used to do ultrasound and started having complex petite mal seizures. It's just where I stare for 30 seconds and shake my right arm sometimes, and found out if you talk to me and I try to answer you, I can drool. So I tell everybody don't talk to me. And I would have an aura or a sick feeling before I would go into one, so I'd know when they would happen. And sometimes they would give me enough time to leave a room and hide it, or sometimes it would just happen too quick that I would just have to. So I wouldn't have to tell everybody. But now I do, because I had been seizure-free for 7 years and got to drive until the pharmacy switched my medicine to a generic, and that made me have another one while I was driving. So I had a wreck, and that's why now I talk about it. So that's enough of me. So I just have to relieve stress.
Well, we all have to find ways to do that. We're getting background noise. A little bit of
Yeah.
in? Okay. Okay. All right.
So I just said hi to Nick Eberly, and I opened up his profile. Those are the fun things we can do. We get to meet new people when they're showing on up to watch the event that's going on. Yes, we'll be multitasking as we look to see who else is here, and we can see if they've written stuff about them. So, Nick, it would be really nice for you to add more about yourself in your Blab profile and your Twitter profile, as the case may be, if you're new to Twitter. I'm new to Twitter only 12 days also. That's when I came on over to Blab. I knew, he said he signed up 10 minutes ago. So I hope you won't mind me using the words, but before 10 minutes ago, you were a Twitter virgin and a Blab virgin. So thanks for joining us here.
Now, Elaine, how did you not get on Twitter until so recently? Because I've been on Twitter for 4 years.
No, because of my own ADD tendencies.
Okay.
You know, and like going down social media rabbit holes, you know.
Got it.
I thought Twitter, like, it's really short stuff. It's people, you know, like, that wouldn't be engaging, or what would I just had a feeling it would be too distracting. I did not see the appeal, and I guess I was never curious enough to have a conversation with someone who was really finding meaning out of Twitter. I found my way over to Google Plus in autumn of 2013, and that's because I was hearing about, you know, a guy who was going to teach about doing video broadcasting on Hangouts, and that was a very large and well-known marketer, Alex Mendosian. So my decision to take that course brought me over to Google Plus with a group of people in community, and week by week being given steps of what to do and what the rationale was. It was the structure that I needed to function in a social media platform. I never really worried, you know, that I'd be able to do stuff in front of camera because I'm kind of a ham. And I have confidence in my ability to put forth inspiring things.
Well,
but some of the other social media stuff, I wasn't so sure. Sheila Hensley has now joined the house. Woo! Come on in the panel too if you want.
Yes, feel free to join us, Sheila. Elaine, I wanted to thank you for. I've been such a serious person, and I've fell out of touch with my sense of humor. And I wanted to thank you for helping me relearn how to laugh. I know we did the World Laughter Day event. I was in on one of the panels, and that was just a lot of fun. If any of you haven't seen those, you need to go watch them on YouTube. I think Elaine has them on YouTube, and it was just very enjoyable experience. So, but laughter is a great way to resolve stress, but you can't rely on it entirely. I think the key is to have, maybe 9 or 10 different things that you do, and you kind of rotate them. I mean, for me, sometimes I get stressed out and I can't sleep, so I write haiku poems at 2 a.m. And the difficulty is if the first line is okay with 5 syllables, then you're going to finish the poem. And you're always having to chop off syllables to make it fit. You're cutting serenity to serene or something like that. But for a lot of us, creative writing is a way to deal with it.
You should host a blab on inviting people to come in and write haiku about being on blab.
I'm actually thinking about just doing a haiku one. I wasn't sure if I should narrow it more than that, but
you'll know.
There's a strong interest.
You've cultivated your capability to listen and also by participating in Skywire.
Right.
Hangout on Air over on Google Plus. And here's a Google Plus Hangout host saying, it's an and thing. It doesn't have to be only blab. There are great shows still over on Google Plus, viewable on YouTube and viewable on Crowdcast, where you'll get to see and experience things that will just be different because of the technological capabilities that are within Hangouts.
Right.
There are glitches in every technological medium that's podcasting.
There's a great show on tonight at 10. Well, no, tomorrow night at 10 on Friday nights, where it's like a game show. You remember
Michael Daniels.
Plus words, yes. They have a group, 2 on each side, and they have to give just a clue on what the word is. And it's funny how some of the words they can come up with and how you can, it's just funny. You'd have to watch it. So it's Plus Word with Michael Daniels.
I'm going to go see if I can find a link on that. And I'm going to try not to screw up this tab. So you guys keep talking while I go look for the link that I can put in this comment stream. Sheila Hensley, about the fun of Plus Words and the game shows hosted by Michael Daniels. I would love to have a torrent of people from Twitter experience Michael Daniels game shows. They don't know what they're missing.
So much you can do.
About them. I want to try them too.
Yeah, you have to, because we get to guess too.
Okay.
Out in the the channel where we talk amongst ourselves, like on the right side here, we get to guess too. So we always win. Not the people that are in the Hangout. We always win. It's fun.
One thing I wanted to talk about, we haven't talked about much. Part of the title of the show is Rebooting Your Life. And we haven't talked about rebooting yet. So what I'm going to say is when life gives you the boot and you're forced to start over, there are going to be maybe hundreds of times in your life where you just have to do that. You just have to press the reset button. We're taught that we can't burn bridges, but I think Napoleon Hill taught me that sometimes you do have to burn bridges with the past, not literally, but at least figuratively. If you have toxic people or situations in your life, you just need to absolutely let them go, move on with positive things, and just start over it. And I think, it's not just a midlife thing. I think a lot of us, I'm in my 40s. I think a lot of us that are in midlife, maybe there's talk of a midlife crisis, although, crises happen a couple times a year for a lot of us. So, why call it a crisis if it's going to be a crisis, But I think all of us need to be cognizant of the ability to just press the reset button. It used to be Control Alt Delete. but now we can just reset things and be able to start over. If we're open to that, very powerful things can happen after rebooting or resetting like that.
I can say something funny. I have actually been rebooted because I had surgery, brain surgery.
Oh.
And the year right after that, I was not me. I mean, I don't even remember that year. The only thing I remember is I was Dr. Jekyll, or whichever one was the bad person. Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll turned into Mr. I was that person.
Okay.
I was not myself. And I don't remember a lot of things. I don't remember Christmas, and I don't remember my daughter's second birthday, 2-year-old birthday, because I had the surgery, so she wouldn't remember it. So I was definitely rewired and didn't remember much. So, yeah.
But you found improvement since then, it sounds like, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So I've got a story.
How did you find that? Did it just take time? I mean, we talk about time healing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not time. Sometimes it takes something else. It takes, for example, openness. You know, we can be closed-minded sometimes and just not want to heal and holding on to old hurts and things like that. And so I'm just curious how you're able to find that point of improvement.
It was where I worked. The lady that was working before I had my surgery, somebody left. Mm-hmm. So we had to hire another girl that just got out of school.
Okay.
And people think, well, ultrasound's hard. You have to have an eye for it. One girl passed with straight A's, but she couldn't scan. She couldn't see anything on the screen. Mm-hmm. So I barely passed physics, but I could scan. So right before I went into my surgery, the other lady had to train someone new. So she had to take all the call. And right when I got back from being out, she said, "Oh, you can take call now." Well, I couldn't work overnight because you have to have sleep.
Right.
With epilepsy. So it was horrible hearing about all the time that she had to work and all the call and having to do this and that. So I do remember them, and work just horrible. So I finally said, okay, I can't handle this. You need to move me to another position. And I didn't care if my hourly, what I made. I didn't care. Mm-hmm. So they didn't want to lose me, so they changed my hours.
Okay.
To make up for like a second shift. Mm-hmm. That got bad to where I said, fine, y'all, I'm leaving. So that was like burning the bridge there. Yeah. I didn't go back to Greensboro. I live in North Carolina. I live right outside Winston-Salem now. So
okay.
From now on, I always tell everybody wherever I work. Of course, I don't work now because my epilepsy came back, but I always told them I had it.
So how does it affect you? Like every day? Is it every couple days? How severe is it?
It's spontaneous.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I can tell when I'm going to have a bad day. Mm-hmm. I'll either have one that day or the next day. I can tell.
I have an aunt that has epilepsy, so we know about some of the detrimental effects just from watching what she's gone through, and just the unpredictability is a very difficult issue with that illness.
Yeah.
So are you like dependent on other people to drive? Yeah. Or you are. So I guess that, I imagine, would be a huge readjustment. And was there any part of your period of adjustment, learning new ways to function, where you came to the place to say, I have to, develop a gratitude practice? Because it's so easy when the way you're experiencing your life, it seems so much like I've lost this, I've lost this, I've lost this, I've lost this. And if you're not careful,
yeah,
you can sink, just like Jeremy was saying when he his work situation, it changed.
Yeah, I got depressed. Because when I was still working, when I had my epilepsy, some until it got bad enough where I had to quit, because of one of the places I worked gave me a hard time about. I finally didn't tell somebody, my boss, that I had it because I didn't have to work nights and I didn't have to take call. So very first time in my life, I didn't tell my boss, but I told the human resources and employee health. I told them, but I didn't tell my boss because I wouldn't have to take overnight call and, didn't have to worry about it. But she told me I would have to work nights in third shift to cover if they called in. Well, that wasn't in my
cards either. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't on the employee, when they put it in the jobs, that description, it wasn't there. So that's why I took the job and why I didn't tell her. Well, anyway, before that, I was working and people sometimes would leave before me who got off after me while I was waiting for my ride. So that's when I would get upset. But then I'd have to think, well, people have worse off than me. They wouldn't be able to work, and sometimes they wouldn't be able to walk. So at least I'm able to do that, and that's how I would get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think we just need to be able to press the pause button, before we react to something. And that's been a huge challenge for me, too, because as an attorney, we're trained to react to things instantly, and that the instant reaction is always the correct one. And if the instant reaction is something like anger or frustration or something unhealthy like that, we've got a problem. So, but I guess, that's something that, we all have to find time to pause with different things and reflect on whether we're doing or saying the right thing after that. But
so we've got a couple other people joining us now. Sometimes other shows end and then people are looking for other new shows. And so we have folks coming on over. Joe Hart is here. And let's see. Hey, so hi, Joe. And
I call him Santa.
Oh, okay. Someone you know is here too. How nice.
Yeah. He's great. He does a lot.
And he just retweeted. Oh, so nudge to host, every so often host, tell the viewers, live or replay, tweet this back out. Because there is a way, if you're watching replay, to also tweet folks to watch the replay. Isn't that right, Roxanne? I think that's right.
Yeah. I was surprised that, Joe, when we re-recorded everything about Oliver Sacks, we had more viewers than we thought on the replay. Isn't that amazing? Because I didn't have very many people jump in on the live, but I have more people watch the recorded. So when I checked that, I was like, oh, I'm so relieved. People actually watched to find out about Oliver Sacks when he died.
Right. And Roxanne, and again, for anybody else who's new to Blab and is watching, like if you're getting acquainted, you make a vibe connection with Roxanne or wherever she is, depending on wherever it's showing up. Blab.im/ capital N, capital C, Roxanne. That will bring you to her Blab homepage, where her past shows will be to watch replays, and her upcoming shows will be, and you can subscribe to them. In fact, my case is, I know there are lots of shows I subscribe to, but I don't know how to find them easily. But if I remember their Twitter handle, I can always go back and find out when they are, or if I think I remember the time, do it that way.
Look under your profile.
Yeah.
Just look under.
See, there are all these tricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, hey, Joe
Hi,
Hart.
Joe. Welcome.
Hi,
Thanks for
Elaine.
joining us.
Hi, Jeremy. Hey, Roxanne. How are y'all?
Hey, fine.
Good and well.
Good. Yeah, I just popped in. I saw Roxanne's name, so I had to pop in and say hi to her.
Now you said
And when
why.
there's another group, we got to tweet it on out. So everybody who's here, tweet it on out, you know? Get a little more reach going.
All right, sounds good.
So, Joe,
Got to hashtag that. Maybe it already has been.
tell me
Hashtag
what you do, Joe.
tweet reach.
He helped
I'm
me
sorry,
with
what,
my
Jeremy?
lab.
What? Okay. What? Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself for our viewers. Just tell us who you are, what you do.
Sure.
Be happy to know.
Sure. I'm Joe Hart. I live in Vermont. I'm a person with disabilities, primarily invisible disabilities. I'm pretty new to that arena since about 2011. And since then, I've been a quite passionate advocate about various things, the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, and companion animals. And I like to build awareness at motorsports events. So I usually go to NASCAR or IndyCar, and that's where I set up. So that's a summary.
Great.
Yeah.
Give it props. Nice to know you, Joe.
Thanks, Elaine. It's good to see you again. I've been at one or two blabs with you.
Thank you. Round, round, get around, we get around.
Yeah, got to click those props. Go props. So,
Yeah.
And of course, they don't show up on the replays.
Right. It's not
Funny.
like Periscope. They don't add up.
It's a good thing they don't. It'd be too distracting.
Yeah, I'm glad they don't add up.
I actually wish I could hide them just so I can focus on the speaker. I'm too, I'm very visual. So if I see that, I just, say, whoa, what is that? Why is that there?
Look, squirrel. Yeah. Everybody's got that look squirrel thing.
What's the shiny thing in the corner? What's it telling us?
I also, if I could, I would post a picture of my dog in the car because he's in the back seat and he thinks he's chasing cars because he sees one coming on the other side. And he goes, he bites at it. It's hilarious. Like, I have him on my phone camera, but you can look. I've got it posted on Google.
Cool.
So you'll have to go look at it, Elaine. If under my profile on Google, you'll get to watch it.
Well, I tell you what, Jeremy, I'm looking at my clock. It's 4:05.
Okay.
My day is going a little differently than I would have imagined it was going to look like tonight, but I'm flexible with it. But I think I need to end my camera time on Blab right now and return to some other things.
It's tough to do, isn't it?
Thank you. I'm glad I could be here to kind of root you on and keep getting people to notice that great spinning beanie that's at the top of your head, and maybe you can steer the. Isn't that great?
I do like it, Jeremy. That is nice.
Maybe you can steer the conversation actually back to your show topic, which was stress management and rebooting your life, especially for people who are coming in kind of on the tail end now.
Sure.
They may have missed your story, so I'm sure you'll develop a bulleted version of that. Know, I'm going to head on out.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Elaine.
Take care.
Nice seeing you, Joe, Roxanne, and Jeremy. I'll be seeing you around.
All right. Take care.
Cool. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. It's odd when you have to repeat what you've already said once because that got to me the other day because I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry if you've been here, but I'm going to have to say it again. And Joe had to remind me. So I missed it. Go ahead and tell me.
Well, I was at the beginning of the show. I mentioned that a year ago today, I lost my job, and I'm an attorney, and so it was, it had a chaotic impact on me and our family, and just, I didn't handle it well, and but it revealed to me all these hidden inner problems that I wasn't aware of. I had lost my ability to have emotional intelligence and with just reacting out of anger and frustration, everything, and not understanding that, well, maybe the reason your job ended is because you're called to go do something else or something better. So I guess I wanted to talk about that a little bit, because people, a lot of people encounter job loss or career changes or unexpected chaos, medical problems or diagnoses flaring up. And so I've, trying to have healthy outlets for dealing with these issues. I guess I wanted to make people aware of it, and,
cool.
Make people aware that I've kind of moved on from that. And, now I'm working as a life coach, a running coach, nutrition consultant, several kind of overlapping things, and
cool.
Moved away from the practice of law, but still using my legal knowledge, but in more of a, a counseling capacity. So
great.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's good we've met, because I have been wondering whether or not, people always ask me how long it took me to get, I don't want to say this, but I had to finally take disability because it's the only way I could have made it.
Yeah.
I have want to work, but I can't, because that's the only thing I've done in my life is ultrasound. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And I had to fight 4 years.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me, what did I do? How long, how did you live? And I'm like, I don't know. The Lord gave us, I don't know, just people helping or something. But but if they ask me questions, I don't know, maybe that's why we met. They could come to you or something.
Yeah, even people with mental illness have trouble getting disability approved by the government, even if it's it's just such a complicated topic that I finally started telling clients, look, Social Security is going to deny disability on almost every first occasion. Right. And then when you come back with the documentation, say, this is the primary diagnosis, this is the secondary one, this is the tertiary one. Can we please approve this person for disability benefits? I mean, how many versions of a diagnosis under DSM-5 do you really need to prove this? So,
good point.
But and part of my work in my previous legal practice, I dealt with a lot of people with anxiety, depression, mental illness, that type of thing. And I just discovered that I have to find a way to help people with these issues. So I've created something called the Positivity Patrol, and we're on all social media. If you search that hashtag, I'm trying to put up positive things to inspire anybody, and trying to move people away from negativity.
Wow, that's cool.
I tried doing that this morning.
Did you?
Yes, I did a blab this morning. I only did it for 30 minutes because I mainly talked to one lady. I tried to sleep last night. So I was in the living room because I couldn't sleep. And so I turned on the news. I thought it would put me to sleep. But yeah.
That'll get you positive. That'll get you.
You got to let go of the news pretty much, unless you take it in little 5-minute segments or something. But
it didn't. It was sad. It didn't help me handle stress because of what was going on in Hungary and Greece. Everything I saw. So that's it was awful. That didn't handle stress or anything management, but I tried doing a blab on that this morning to say thank you. Come in and tell me what you're thankful for. Let's give this a day of thanks. But nobody said that. I went off. I lost. Did you lose me? I lost you for a second. Okay.
We still hear you.
I don't.
Okay, I moved
I didn't lose you. Maybe you lost yourself.
I moved my cursor down and I went to another blab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there a couple of blabs kind of acting up today. We were having trouble adding people in the open seats, and I don't know. I don't know why.
So scary.
Anyway, it seems to be working fine now. So if someone wants to take the open seat, feel free. We have an extra seat right down here.
Point the other way.
May not be the same direction.
There we go.
On my screen is over here. So one of these two directions, we've got.
It should be the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think Roxanne's that way, but it's always the opposite of what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you're probably
Sheila,
that
good.
way, but I'm pointing the opposite
So
way.
Jeremy,
Yes.
did you bring in? Hey,
Sheila.
Hey, Sheila. Did you bring in Lab? Did you call someone into the room to help you with that problem or not?
I didn't. I was on like a test lab with Elaine,
Oh, cool.
Rebooting, and we just kind of tried to figure it out. And she
Just plotted through it. Cool.
Yeah, she said Blab was acting up, and I don't know.
It's in beta, but yeah, I'm glad you worked through it.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, Sheila.
I know everybody here from different places, but Roxanne, I came in to say I was at yours this morning, but I had to go over and go to Stan's. We both had to leave and go to Stan's.
Yeah.
Because he had one scheduled, but I wanted to stay with you and went, ooh, which one do I go to? But I was committed to the other one, so I had to go to the other one. So
That's okay.
Let's Sheila, can you tell us where you're from, and we'll kind of go around the squares here, and as people shift, we'll try to tell everybody who the people are, and I don't know, I haven't really told you where I'm from, but I'll let you go first, Sheila.
I know I can't remember where I know you from, but I've looked at your.
I think, yeah.
Well, of course, Google Plus, but which show I can't remember.
I think it was Skywire. I think
it was too. That's where I saw you.
Yeah.
Sheila Hensley, Memphis, Tennessee, as you can tell by the accent, Southern. Everybody says something about it. I can't hear it, but y'all can. And what else did you want to know, Jeremy?
Tell us what you do, Sheila, or what what you do for a job, or
in my real life, I own a real estate school. I have a long 35-year career in real estate, own my own company, and in retirement, or my exit strategy was to teach others or to give back. So 14 years ago, I started a real estate school. And today I specialize in people getting into the business, their required courses, and I'm tough as nails on them because I've got all these years of experience. So I won't let them slack off or anything like that. They know I'm tough, and I refer to myself as a mother hen, and they are my baby chicks because I worry about them so much if they're not getting the stuff, and so they get used to calling me mother hen. So I'm retired and working harder. Well, not working. Nothing is working harder than making a living in real estate, but I am loving the hard work that I do every day. I learned social media so I can teach them because I don't want them to be behind. So that's what I do.
Cool.
Joe, why don't you go next? Can you, we have some new people that are joining us, and we'll get everybody caught up.
So hey, fertility, it's good to see you. My grandparents are from Ireland. I'm not, but I love that. So I'm Joe Hart. I live in Vermont. I know I just did this about 5-10 minutes ago, but I'm a person with disabilities, and I'm just mostly about building awareness. I love, I blab, or golly, that's a weird word. I stream in Meerkat. I don't know why I use the word blab, but I used to do it about 12 times a week, and most of that was about lots of topics, but Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. I could talk, if I had to pick one topic the rest of my life, that would be it. That would be just so meaty and stuff, but also companion animals and just building awareness, really, because I think there's so many people that, everybody has their own experience and history and family, and, they may have stereotypes about invisible disabilities or mental health or things like that. And, I'm only one person, but I do try to engage with other people at the tracks, and they help me, spread, hand out literature and DVRs, and we don't sell anything. I don't want to sell anything. Okay. I want to just build awareness. But it's pretty neat. I feel blessed. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and when she graduates from high school, I'll be moving to either North Carolina for NASCAR or Indianapolis for IndyCar, one or the other. So that's it.
Cool. Well, I of course would tell you to go to Indianapolis because my brother lives there. That's the only reason.
Sweet.
Hey, Jeremy, before
I love both.
Jeremy, before you go to another introduction, I'm going to step out because I just wanted to come in and say hello.
Okay.
And I think fertility expert should come in. I would love to hear what she does. So that's enough.
I want to hear the accent. I love that Irish accent.
I'll try to come back in. I got a couple more videos I got to upload.
All right. Thanks, Sheila.
Thanks, Sheila.
Okay.
No, North Carolina. I mean, you get to see Richard, the Earnhardt dude's place, and
Yeah. Dale Earnhardt.
what's Richard's last name?
Richard
Childress. Yes, he has that museum in the vineyard.
He does. A few driver owners own wineries.
Yes.
Hey, Eleanor.
Hi, how are you? It's good to be here. It's Helena.
Helena. So
And you're in
I
Ireland?
like it.
Yes, I'm about 40 miles northeast of Dublin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
amazing. I've been connecting with so many Americans on Blab. Really enjoying it. I'm new to all of this, and I'm a fertility coach. So I help people with fertility issues and who are going through IVF. It's the emotional mental health side that I'm on, and I'm a former midwife and nurse and clinical research associate. So I've been around a long time.
Wow.
So
Sweet.
I'm glad
Cool.
you could join us.
thank you so much for having me. It's good. Jeremy, what do you do? I haven't had a chance to follow you yet. I must have a look at your...
I am a life coach, running coach, nutrition consultant, and also an attorney. So I also write. I'm a blogger. So just a lot of creative writing. But I'm trying to reach out and help people with positivity. I've created a new initiative called the Positivity Patrol to try to unite people around the world with positivity, and trying to make that kind of the core of our existence and spread that to people, because we have so many people that are struggling with, negativity, depression, anxiety, mental illness, chronic disease conditions, or just stress and chaos in their lives, and really trying to give people positive tools to help us work together and spread that as a kind of a global initiative.
Oh, that's commendable, because we certainly could use plenty more of it. Life is hard for people now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jeremy, if you don't mind me interrupting, I'm going to tell a little bird, but I love the phrase you keep saying. And if you don't mind, I'd like to put it out as a hashtag. Okay. Hashtag. So are you saying positivity, and then what's the second word you said?
Positivity Patrol.
Patrol. Okay, is that okay if I put that in as a hashtag?
Yeah, I'm using that on all social media already, and I've already claimed it as my own. So I can make sure
Sweet.
Other people aren't hijacking it to apply negative. That's probably the biggest risk. You put yourself out there as a positivist, you get all these negative people that say, oh, you can't, but what about this negative thing or this negative thing, or how can you possibly be positive? You can't be on the sunny side of the street all the time. And well, yes, actually you can. So.
And just as a disclaimer, I think I'm a pretty big pessimist. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there. I don't want to, anyway, just full disclosure. Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I was there about a year ago with pessimism, so I can relate to that.
Cool. Yep. But it's neat to hear. I mean, I loved it. It was great that you shared that stuff. That was really neat to hear what you did.
Roxanne, can you introduce yourself again? We have some new people, and just tell people where. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, by the way. I keep forgetting to say that, but Lincoln, Nebraska, central United States, home of the Cornhuskers, if you know what that means. But Nebraska Cornhuskers football team. That doesn't ring a bell to anyone. But Roxanne, go ahead. Tell us who you are and where you're blabbing from.
North Carolina, and North Carolina, and I used to do ultrasound, and that's what I was telling you about, Helena, working with reproductive endocrinologist that used to help guide him with IVFs. So very interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very important people are ultrasound people now. Things have moved on a lot, haven't they?
They have.
All the time, and much simpler application, much more local applications, and much more comfortable.
You really get to know the women that came in, because how many times you'd have to scan them and sit there and count how many on this side and count how many follicles on this side. You know? It was amazing how much you get to know.
You build up quite a relationship, and it's always like, how big are they? How many are there? Are they rupturing well? Only today I had somebody who came in very sadly saying, I only had a partial rupture. So, yeah, you certainly are at the cold face of it all. And are you doing that now, or have you moved? Have you changed?
No, I'm not anymore.
Right.
Came in here, my stress management. I'm not working anymore because of epilepsy.
Right.
And it's not in control now. So I can't be doing the scans that I were and maybe drop the probe.
Yes, that's a hard one. How long have you had it for?
I started having them when I was 21.
Right.
And they're just complex petite malls. Okay. I'm losing my voice right now because I have a vagal nerve stimulator. The wire goes by my vocal cords. Okay. So every 5 minutes my voice will do this. But I just shake my hand and stare for 30 seconds. But now they're not under control. They're sporadic. So I'm not working. But that's what I used to do. So dropping the probe, I wouldn't want to do that. I loved what I did. I did it almost 20 years.
Wow.
That's what I went to school for.
That's a long time. A lot of happy people have gone through your hands, so to speak.
Yeah, and you know what? I worked there half a day, and the other half the day I went to do their OB scans after they got pregnant.
Wow.
So you were there for the long haul.
Yeah.
It's a good
There were two
continuity.
offices.
All right. I was only talking today about the fact that people who have IVF, successful IVF, and go on to have their babies, they're actually more at risk of postnatal depression.
Really?
Wow, really?
Because, of course, being the perfect mom and being happy-clappy when, days are dismal and babies are teething, they're not allowed to feel flumpy, lumpy and dumpy. It's quite a pressure when they've waited so long to become pregnant. So I think it's about being kinder, and it's about, like you work for the long haul, that we have I see a lovely cat.
Yeah, he was trying to get into the camera. He's a good boy.
I
like him.
About Blab. Somebody's dogs were barking earlier, and somebody's teen came in, and somebody's dad just walked right into the room earlier on, and now we can hear Cat Joe. So it's the personal touch on Blab is lovely, isn't it?
It is.
Are you enjoying Blab?
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Are you all enjoying Blab?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Jeremy?
I'm not sure I fully understand it. I haven't been on it a full week yet. So, but
All right. Welcome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is this your first time hosting, Jeremy, or have you
Well,
hosted?
I hosted a test one at 1:30 today, so this is the first extended one. So.
Oh my goodness, you're so smooth.
Well, I have experience from Skywire on Google Plus, and that's I have courtroom experience too. So
Cool.
Oh, I love the American courtrooms. They're much more dramatic than ours. And you get to walk up and down and look really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, all the TV shows are real. All of them.
We know that because that's what we live on. We live on a diet of American TV. But yeah, I'm interested in the applications like this. I think it's a really, really good. I like the title of your blab, Stress Management and Rebooting Your Life. So have you got other people scheduled to come in, or is it an ad hoc thing, or what is your?
It's ad hoc entirely. You know, I had Elaine Nieberding on here on the original panel, and she had to move on with some other things, and so it's completely ad hoc. So we're we're compiling stress management tactics from around the globe now, and we've talked about how we handle things like stress management here with creative writing or I haven't mentioned music. I play the piano and sing, and I guess just finding ways to create kind of an inner peace within yourself and being able to spread that with others through the world. So
and pets.
Companion
animals.
Yes, our dog is here. If she goes by, I'll hold her up. But
cool.
There are actually, I think it's the simplicity of ways of, being very, very sort of comforted in life, and things that please us, and they don't have to cost a lot of money. We don't have to have special gear. We don't need an app for many of these things. Something that I'm finding very useful lately is using Epsom salt baths. Most people take showers now, and Epsom salt is a wonderful tranquilizer, and it's a very comfortable thing to just have a bath and soak. And people look at you askance as though I don't have time for a bath.
That's always.
It's the runners talk. I'm a running coach also. And runners talk about sometimes you do ice baths, but the Epsom bath is kind of the most attractive alternative, which isn't quite as cold. So
yes, but I think they're moving away from the ice baths. We had a lot of our young athletes. We have a group, all around our counties. GAA, football and hurling and that. And they were training like mad and going for the ice baths. And they were finding that the heart problems were identified because it's a bit rigorous and not so healthy perhaps all the time to get people back from injury so very quickly. But I know nothing about it.
Well, let's see if somebody else wants to jump in.
Yeah, I can bail if you need someone, Jeremy. Sure.
Okay, we'll maybe rotate a seat here. And just to let viewers know, I probably need to wrap this up at 3:45. I need to leave to go pick up my daughter from school. So, but we could probably go 15 more minutes.
Sure.
Bye, Jan.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm going to have to run as well, so I will say thank you very much, Jeremy. It was a real pleasure to come aboard, and I love hearing all these different accents. It's absolutely brilliant. So all the very best, and we'll meet again.
Okay.
Take care.
I love your Irish accent, for sure.
Bye.
See ya. And I didn't want to leave you alone, but
okay.
If you want to close up or whatever you want to do, I can bail or stay or whatever you want.
Yeah, I think this might be a good point to wrap it up. Unless somebody else wants to jump in, I know our dog is patiently waiting for me to maybe let her out, perhaps.
Yeah.
And hopefully she hasn't taken care of things inside in the meantime. But just wanted to make sure all of you know that there are options to help you if you encounter stress in your life. I look for signs and symptoms of stress, and when you encounter it, try to find ways to alleviate it in healthy ways. And remember that you are able to reboot your life and reset if chaotic things happen, or they talk about bad things happening to good people, and that happens to all of us, and we just have to be willing to. We have to have the courage to start over. And I think a lot of times we just seem to lack that courage. But we all have that courage inside, but sometimes we have to search for it. So I wanted to thank all of you for joining us. And thank you to Joe for joining us for some of the time. We've enjoyed meeting you and talking to you.
You're welcome, Jeremy.
look forward to connecting in future labs.
Sure. If I could just do a little shout out, I just wanted to say hi to Viper. I don't know if his voice reader got to my comment yet, but welcome, Viper. It's good to see you, and thanks for stopping by. So, yeah, that's all. So, yeah, thank you, Jeremy. This has been great.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it very much, and hoping to kind of make this topic a regular feature. It may be slightly different types of stress management or different dimensions of it, but just wanted to welcome all of you to listening to how to deal with this important topic, and we'll discuss it further in the weeks to come.
Now, Jeremy, I followed you here. Are you on other live streaming like Meerkat or Periscope?
I am on Meerkat and Periscope. And,
okay, cool. I'll follow you there.
And I'll look for you also. I'm a little more active on Periscope. Seems to work better for me for some reason.
Cool.
Meerkat, I've done a couple that haven't turned out well, and I've had to delete the Meerkat. But
they're both different. I prefer Meerkat, but I've done 80 Periscopes and 280 Meerkats. So they both have their purposes.
There are Meerkat presentations that I have enjoyed. There's a speaker on there that deals with Tai Chi and meditation, and I started using Tai Chi to improve my running and my breathing. And as an asthmatic, the breathing can become an issue. So, so that might be something I talk about, but I certainly don't have the expertise of the guy that's, teaching you specific Tai Chi techniques and that type of thing.
That might be David Dorian Ross or Austin Go. There's a couple of them.
It's David.
Oh, he's a rock. He's great.
Yeah, so if you see David on Meerkat or Periscope and you're interested in the topic of mindfulness and Tai Chi, you absolutely need to follow him. He's fascinating, and sometimes they're just on there talking about tea. And I'd love to drink tea. I don't know if all of you like to drink tea or coffee or that type of thing. We have to cut back our coffee and be able to sleep at night, or we get too stressed out. So it's a delicate balance. But once again, thanks for joining us, and thank you, Joe. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the future. All right, I'm going to stop.
You're
recording.
Welcome. Thank you.
Peace out.
You're going to close me, right? Don't forget, you got to close all the windows, or we remain. Right, click me out.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Bye, everybody.